Hi, I'm Mark McPherson and I'm here with an overview of how I can help you, your colleagues and your staff go from being pretty good public speakers and presenters to even better ones. And after all, that's what we want to do. We all want to improve. Now, where do we start? Well, I think we start with content. Most of us have plenty of content, material, stuff, if you like. So that usually isn't the problem. But what we need to do is to develop it more, embellish it if you like, because we need to make sure that we have plenty of case studies, anecdotes and stories. We need to make sure that we've got plenty of research, facts and figures and documentation. But we need lots of it because on different occasions, different ones are needed. We also need to make sure that we've got the right metaphors, the right analogies, the right quotes, etc. We also need to work on how would it be said by a 10-year-old, a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old. How would it be said if it was just speaking to lay people? How might you speak if you speak to technical people? How might you speak if you were speaking to someone who's more academic, if you like? We need to work out all these different ways of delivering the material, and it's really, really important because different audiences require it. On top of that, we need to look at what I call the structure. Now, we all need to start somewhere. Let's face it, we need to start. We have a body in the middle and we have an end. But I have an acronym, for example, to help you start. It's called AIM After. And look, some people say there's only one way you can start. Well, it's not true. There's lots of ways to start. So AIM After gives you lots of opportunities to mix and match different ways of starting for different audiences, different purposes, different presentations. Now let's look in the middle here at this structure. A lot of people deliver their structure and it's fine, goes down pretty well. What we need to do though is to make sure we deliver it so each thing that we deliver makes a point. And those points come together so that we have what I call aha moments, when the audience says, aha, I get what you're talking about. Now, how do we end? Well, many people say all sorts of things about how to end, and I have an acronym, ESCAPE. And you can use that to mix and match different ways of ending on different occasions, different purposes, what's the point of your presentation, etc. Now let's get on to a few other things. The verbal code. We need to embed commands into what we actually say. We need to have memory hooks. So the English language is rich, and it's not just flowering it up with different terms. You just don't get out your thesaurus. It's about designing these words carefully and the way they put together to make sure that people actually go away with what you want them to go away with. Next, let's look at our vocal code. You know, what character are we going to use? Because different characters are important on different occasions. What sort of continuity do we have between words, sentences and ideas? What sort of what sort of colour do we add to this? You know, what about our power, our pause, and when we do pause, for how long? Our pitch and our pace. On top of that, we also need to look at what I call the non-verbal or visual component. Now this is very important. A lot of people talk about body language or whatever, but what we're talking about here is how you actually stand, how you look, what you do with your hands and when and for how long, and when you put your hand like this or whatever it is, how long should you leave it there for? So we'll look at about 10 particular non-verbal or visual techniques. Congruency, for example, synchronization, associating positives and negatives, disassociating. We'll also look how to refer and direct people and get them back to you. So anyway, that's a bit of an overview. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, please look after yourselves and look after your friends and family. And if you want to chat to me, it's easy. Just go to the contact page, for example, of my website. There's lots of ways of getting in contact with me there. All the very best. Do hope to chat to you soon. See you later.